Thank you for tuning in to Quality Violence Cinema. We have a new thing going on, so I decided to do kind of a recap or kind of a touch up on everything that's changed with Quality Violence Cinema. We've definitely kind of just have had some new changes and new things that we're going to go into, new chapters, and bringing in some new peeps. Speaking of that, we have Bones and Goblin who are joining the team. Ian kind of stepped out because he got too busy with Horror Corridor and being a parent. And just kind of just stuff. It was becoming difficult to find time to do episodes because of just different schedules and him just having very limited time in general. So yeah, so we got that going on, but I'm excited for everything. So because we have more time to get some things going and more hands on deck to kind of be able to get some things. So I'm gonna kind of let them kind of talk about some things, do their own introduction of sorts, starting to Bones.
This is Bones. You might know me from the Bones and Brews podcast, which thankfully is actually coming into the QVC umbrella that we're changing in more of a company name. It's going to have a lot of expanding stuff we'll talk about later on in the episode. But the Bones and Brews podcast is coming on to the team. Super fucking excited to say that. I'm just super excited to be a part of the team. I mean, Ian's love that motherfucker. I'm the new bottom, or maybe Goblin's the new bottom, but who knows? What a hole's a hole, and
And I just want to make a point of like Ian's not in any way like we're good friends, we're good buddies, like we love him, so there's no animosity in any way.
Goblin, you could take the reins for what you're about to go for.
All right. Well, I'm Goblin, your local gore dealer, fetish enthusiast, gore hounds, just blood, boobs, and beasts. Really, what I'm going to be doing on here is co-hosting some episodes, and then also I'll be taking over Fright Fight, where we will be going over some just combat sports, brutal hardcore action. Deathmatch wrestling is, another passion of mine on top of extreme cinema. So we'll be going over deathmatch wrestling, some bare knuckle boxing, we're going to have some fun on Fright Fight. And on top of that, I'll also be helping with Screen Extreme, which is another new project that we're all going to be working on together. And I think Christian should take it from there to explain what Screen Extreme will be and what we intend to do with it.
Yeah, because Screen Extreme, like the Fright Fight is kind of part of Screen Extreme, would be because we're going to be splitting it up and we'll have two movies. Maybe do one as a mixtape, but just know that we're not going to do any gore mixtapes. We're staying away from all that as just the channel in general. But we wanted to do kind of just a more fun, psychedelic, trippy, fucked up. Definitely some fetish in there, but just kind of stay away from
artistic mixtapes.
Well, yeah, and that way we can put it out on, say we want to put it out as actual content or exclusive content, and not just be pushing out real death and stuff, because that's not what we're trying to promote. Well, we might show some people bloodied up with getting punched in the face, but we're not going to watch them get show them getting killed. Actually,
basically, we're going to be covering actual mixtapes and not gore compilations. You won't
exactly.
It won't be just nonstop, YNC death movies or cartel videos. It'll be people who are passionate about mixtapes and actually enjoy and appreciate the art.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. That's more for the artist's sake. And okay, because I've been making a few. I have Clown Gore, which is I'm really excited for. Which is definitely there. Both of Goblin and Bones have been helping out with that project, and there's definitely a huge list of people that are involved with that project, and it's going to be a lot of fun once it's all finally done. But and I have the TV party and just stuff like that, and I plan on making a few more, and it'll be a good excuse to kind of showcase those a little bit and get you into it.
And then also TV party's already on the Patreon too, if you want to go check it out.
That's basically the goal, is to kind of have a lot of this content that we can't put on YouTube or we can't do whatever. Make it where we at least like send you a link or something like that to make it where you have access to this. But also, with the Screen Extreme, we're going to try to get the directors involved as much as we can. And then when we do like I still want to do the live Q&As, so I'll probably keep it where like the director and us will be talking during the film, but then we'll open up the floor for people to be able to do it. But we wanted just a little bit more control on the sound
Mhm.
because we want to sound as professional and put together as we possibly can.
And it
Um,
also does depend on the director's preferences because some of them don't want like a full live audience, and some of it all
mhm.
depends on the situation at hand.
Yeah, I figured it'd just be easier to do that and then maybe just transfer over to and give you the time frame of when the movie will be over and be like, okay, we're on our live chat once we're done.
Screen Extreme will be interviewing directors and screening movies, open up the floor to Q&A. But the next one that we have coming up, we met the director Jorge De La Rosa of Hellvan at Cinema Wasteland. He gave us a copy of his movie Hellvan, and we will be doing an interview and a screening with him. Yeah, Hellvan right there. A good time, possessed car movie. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. Probably a lot of drinks to be had on it. But yeah, we'll be interviewing the director, and he's possibly talking about bringing one of the actors on board for the interview as well. I will actually be interviewing in person. Christian will be on the Discord with the stream, but it's going to be a great time. And on top of that, we have some more directors lined up with more movies that Christian can probably go over more. But yeah, Hellvan will be done, next week, and it'll be out shortly after that. So I really look forward to, interviewing Jorge and, just having a great time and watching indie horror with him.
Phil Herman is one that we were trying to get with like Jackard 1 and 2 and doing stuff with him. And Phil has been really cool. He's been kind of starting me to get some interviews through some other people that he's connected with and kind of pushing some interviews my way. So, like I have the director of Ravage, looks like the Ravage 2 now. It's Ravage Nation. So that'd be kind of cool to get part of that. And then we'll even kind of be doing a lot of switch off of the interviews too. So say that we're getting into a topic that Bones is really into, or the director in particular, and we'll kind of figure out and kind of have it so we can go back and forth with interviews, which I think would be cool because it'll give kind of an opportunity for each of us to shine on things, especially being more into it instead of just forcefully interviewing somebody that they maybe aren't as into.
Yeah, and absolutely, and especially with the even just with the Screen Extreme aspect, is since that we have 3 co-hosts now, we're all just kind of all hands on deck, and that some people reach out to those directors and we're more familiar with the work, so we'll be the co-host on that certain episode too.
Yeah, speaking of like Phil Herman, like I know that Goblin has had like a rapport with him, so I'll probably get you all probably involved with that interview. Because you're all sleazy just like me.
Oh yeah, Sleazebox fan through and through. Love the old SOVs. So
yeah,
and that'll be also the good thing is this won't be your typical podcast. We're not going to just be asking your standards. So how'd you get into it? What were your thoughts? We really hope to get into the nitty gritty with these directors, performers, whoever we interview. We really want the full story. So this isn't going to be just question and answer type stuff, but there will be a lot of banter. It'll be a lot of fun, a lot of good times, and hopefully a lot of laughs, and of course a lot of blood, guts, boobs, and beers and beasts. So
absolutely, especially with the Scream Extreme aspect, is that sometimes we won't necessarily have actors or directors be a part of it, but we will have a guest that has I guess a certain affiliation to that certain subgenre or something that has their own personal work, and that will just have a guest spot basically, so we could kind of dive into their minds personally about different stuff
which even goes into Fright Fight, where I'm actually talking to some deathmatch wrestlers and people in the industry to come onto the show and just watch, brutal shit and talk about it and what they went through. So it's going to be more than just
and also
movies.
The fetish world
it's
too.
Going to cover everything. Yeah,
because we want to talk to some fetish artists. We want to get into some, the underbellies a little bit more and give everyone an opportunity, because sex workers don't get an opportunity to have a voice a lot of times. So
this isn't going to be a gore podcast or company or anything like that. This is just going to celebrate all of extreme cinema, whether it's fetish, gore, art films, performance acts, whatever it is. If you do something outside the ordinary, we want to talk to you.
Yeah,
exactly.
we're a horror channel for sure in ways, but we're not just that.
Not just even extreme in that same vein too. We're a very indie channels. So just
Yeah.
it's about the small creators, especially if
No,
you're
for
trying to
sure.
do something
Like the
outside the
Vincent,
box, like Goblin said.
yeah, like the things I'm doing with the Streets of Darkness, and working with Vincent LaRosa and
Yeah.
doing, like working just for SRS. So like that's definitely not an extreme violent film in any way, shape, or form. But it is, it's quality violent cinema, so it works into that quality violent. There still is that aspect of the mafia and just the idea of, the violence that all protect. We all know like the potential violence that mafias put into the world. So
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people don't understand violence isn't always just the blood and guts. There could be mental violence, mental abuse, psychological,
mhm.
emotional. Like, it's just getting about deep and dark and the nitty gritty shit that we enjoy because no one else does.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And that, to be honest, that could be the most distressing aspect of the film too, is the psychological violence. Is that there's a connection with indie films and wanting to push that boundary, and that is really what we were trying to celebrate with this whole iteration. Or to be honest, even just the original QVC or like my podcast itself, it's all about celebrating the indie original outside the box filmmaking.
And I want to actually get the game show going, which I think could be a lot of fun. That's something I've kind of pushed on the side, and I just realized it was a bigger project than I thought. Just because I want to kind of do it right and make it seem like an actual game show. And I know there's some things online you can use for templates and stuff, so I'm going to look into getting that more finalized, and maybe not just the Patreons, but just people like just want to get involved. And I might just hand select some guests and just get it going instead of waiting for Patreon to be my reason to do it. I just want to just do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and also getting into more individual reviews. Like I want to, there's a side channel that I want to do that, well, I think will get pretty big. But kind of going in the same vein of the quality violent cinema, and instead this is a VCR, but it's a violent cinema review. And we're basically going to do an opportunity for each of us to tap into certain films that we really enjoy and just be able to do our own take on it. And kind of, I guess, and also an individual of getting to know us a hand to hand basis and just kind of see what makes us tick and be able to kind of give each of us an opportunity to shine.
yeah, absolutely. And especially it gives us the opportunity to express the aspects of filmmaking that matters to us personally the most, is because there's a lot of films that don't connect with certain people but can connect with another person that feels very deeply about the same subject matter, or just about the way that the film presents itself. And I think that having that separate and not communal aspect to the violent cinema review, it could definitely help uh, push some films forward that I don't think would get enough love.
This isn't a rebranding. We're not redoing, quality violent cinema, but this is the new chapter and where we want to go with it.
Mm-hmm. We're just expanding, if anything, you know.
We want to grow this, so Patreon, please join.
Yeah, or Cash App. No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh.
But on top of all these new projects, we are actually really hoping soon enough to actually start releasing our own shorts and working on our own projects all together.
Mhm.
So that'll be, another aspect of us
Yeah.
growing this is to be able to do our own projects with
No,
it.
and actually putting out like I'm going to be
Yeah.
putting out my mixtapes and putting actually DVD releases of those for people that are interested. Especially the gore, the clown gore mixtape. I'm gonna have a limited like 10 of VHS I want to put out as a super limited release, and then have some other stuff. So, and and then we also have some other short projects that I want to be working on with like Daniel Valiant and Allison might be working. We're from White Gardenia. We have some things in the works. Some other shorts I have working from different anthologies. Speaking of that, Bones has got something going on. I'll let him kind of talk about it. But
Yes, absolutely. I have my very first short film finally premiering in Symbolicus 3. I was just talking to Marcus today about it. It's probably going to be released close to December because he is waiting on some other shorts. But Christian is also a huge part of that because he made that baby way better than I could ever have made it. He is the editor, sound designer, and a musician, I guess,
Who
especially for
knew?
the yeah, who knew? Yeah, for the ending song. Spoiler alert, with the suicide at the end. I won't get too detailed. He wrote the song and performed it with his own musical abilities, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I
yeah,
never produced my own music to put it out, but I did produce my own music just kind of as a hobby for a while, just to kind of throw that into why it's like, and it's something I wanted to pick up, and I kind of in my first idea of getting into the movie scene is I wanted to do soundtracks, and so that was like a passion of mine. So even my first short that I'm going to be working with Daniel and Allison is kind of an inspiration of that, of me working on a soundtrack that is the film,
yeah,
in a way. And I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say the soundtrack is very, very in the film.
yeah. It's
It,
very integral to the plot.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I
and
like that, you know.
especially when you watch My Short and Symbolicus 3, you have to understand I filmed none of it with any audio besides like a scream, and he did everything. The shots that you think that are just there plain audio, he did all the sound effects too, and
Your
it's
heavy breathing,
absolutely amazing.
I did,
Yeah, the
yeah.
heavy breathing, the kissing, the fucking even the jacking off, fucking like he did all the sound effects, and he did an amazing job. It would not be even close to as good without him. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's the first short that that you guys would probably see. But like Christian said, we have a couple of
Yeah.
shorts in the works, and you'll
I
definitely
mean,
see a lot more from us. And like we said in the beginning, QVC is going to be a whole like umbrella a company term, so we are going to have a production aspect to it. And me, Goblin, and Christian are all going to work on a bunch of different short films and feature length
mhm.
films in the future.
Yeah, like Goblin has a little bit of a fetish production side, that if you want to get into. I'm not sure if you want to talk about it, but
Uh, honestly, not quite yet.
okay.
I
That's what I was
definitely
saying.
have
We don't have to
something in the
talk about
works. No, it's okay. I definitely have something in the works. It's definitely going to be nasty. But yeah, I'm still putting the pieces together. I still got a few more things to film, but once it's ready, literally everyone's gonna fucking know about it. And I really hope everyone likes it. So yeah, we're all working on something. We all have something going on, and this is our baby as well. Well, it's Christian's baby. We're just babysitting. But yeah.
it. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
so this is becoming more of a company,
fuck yeah.
and even so, like the Quality Violence Cinema, it'll be actually called Quality Violence Cinema Podcast is the full name, and that's for when we do our interviews or anything that's an actual episode. It technically has a fuller name, but then Quality Violence Cinema is the company name. So
And I'm in the inner circle, and I've still never seen any of Goblin's new work, and I'm very excited to see it.
we got a lot of stuff going on. So this is definitely, like I said, not a rebranding, but just a whole new chapter. So look forward to it.
Hell yeah. I'm
Yeah.
super appreciative to be on board. If you like my short and Symbolicus and you want to support my next project, I will totally ship you a copy of the movie signed with some special effects, depending on which ones you want. I have a cock, I have a vagina, I have a severed head. They will be priced differently, but if you want to support the whole progress of what's happening, just hit me up. Let me know.
Not his cock, just to let you know. Just to
Not my
clarify.
cock. And if you
He is
watch the
not
short,
selling his cock.
if you watch the short, you would know it's not my cock. And also, if you want my legitimate wisdom teeth that are taken out of my face that are in the short, I will sell you my real teeth that are also screen used effects.
I didn't know this was
Twice
real
the
teeth.
price.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, I guess that's it.
I really appreciate you guys listening. I'm psyched to be part of the team, and I will see
You
Later.